Captain's Log, Subdate 200716.1. Okay, so there are some key upgrades, so the phase cannon's missing. But that's okay. I've been able to 3D print some replacement parts with some beautiful glow-in-the-dark yellow filament. Now my pod is fabulous. And totes serious in the ocean. Welcome everyone to the exhibition of stupid people, and yeah, we're at number 45. This is impressive. Longest running series on this channel. I'm okay with it. Before we start with all the dumb stuff we have to go through, I shall be streaming on Twitch tonight. I've yet to decide between Barents Sea Fishing or Assassin's Creed 2. If you're at all interested in either, please consider swinging by. Links to my Twitch channel in the description down below. So to start, we go to Kazakhstan, most famous for Gennady Golovkin and Borat. Well, they featured again in the news last week, because many people are going to the beaches, and as is custom when you go to the beach, you top up your tan, and you happy slap the seals, which is exactly what happened in Kazakhstan. This particular beach is located on the eastern shore of the Caspian Sea, and what had happened was, some children saw the seal cub, which is actually an endangered species, and wanted a photo with the seal. So naturally the adults thought, okay, well the only way we're going to get a decent shot is if the seal cub is sleeping. Let's get some sticks, boys. It's time to emulate our most favouriteest of people in the whole world, the Canadians. Shortly after taking all the photos they required of the now unconscious endangered species, they then decided, what we'll do, because they're now littering and kind of, taking up valuable beach space, is dump them unconscious back in the water. Classy. Next. Does anyone remember Foodie Beauty? She's had quite the roller coaster since my second and final content constable on her. She has been going through quite the whirlwind of a life. Not going to comment on that, might do in December. More recently, she has been diagnosed with diabetes. Of course, I will say for the sake of it, I wish you well, and of course want you to succeed, thrive, strive forward, and do well. Have I said do well twice now? Doesn't matter. To help with her diet and get herself on track, she took part in a 3-day juice cleanse, which, if anyone knows anything about diabetes, is a fundamentally bad thing to do. Something which she then realised and had to do a, typical for her behaviour, U-turn on, saying that diabetes and fruit juices, I actually totally didn't consider this, as this whole thing was an impulse. Hard lesson learned. I am light-headed and dizzy and nauseous. I am going to cease the juice cleanse on day 2 for my health and safety. Thank you. I noticed you very recently started to do a week without mukbangs. I'm sure your body's also thanking you for that as well. Next. On June 12th, in a grocery store, a woman who was having a disagreement with another behind her who was holding a pram decided in her infinite wisdom, because the mother with the pram behind her was not obeying social distancing rules, she removed her face mask and decided to start coughing in the face of the baby. How very grown up. The police, of course, were called to investigate because this happened in a shop. As a consequence, the lady in question who did the coughing has either been fired or left her job. It is assumed to be fired as she worked in a school district position, which would undoubtedly, with the fallout of this coming to public, get her into a bit of trouble. Yeah. I get the frustration of people not maintaining social distancing. I really do. But at no point was it right to just cough in a child's face. It's a bit of a dick move at the best of times. Even if you weren't doing social distancing, why drag the kid into it? If you wanted to cough on someone, it isn't the child. Not that you should be coughing on anyone in the first place. Oh dear. Recently, a Pride crosswalk was unveiled in West Vancouver. It is quite beautiful, this is it. Yes, there is a tyre mark going through it. And that is because the West Vancouver police have started an investigation into this act of terrorism when a car left a tyre mark on a crosswalk. Because it's Pride, it's considered a hate crime of some form. I just want to point this and say, West Vancouver Police Department, you are almost as laughable as that of the British police. This is not a crime that needs investigating because, honestly, it's a crosswalk. Cars have right of way. They will leave marks anyway, and maybe the driver did do that, but you know what you can do? Rub it off. It doesn't take long. In fact, it would take 5 seconds with a very aggressive brush. It's just tire marks. There's dirt on there as well. Would you like to blame all the walkers who go across it with their filthy, filthy muggle shoes? No. Why don't you go and investigate real crime and not this nonsense? I assume since you've identified them, they're probably going to get a prison sentence. And their car crashed. In Texas, the police were investigating a bunch of messages that were left on a student's car in June. Originally, the school offered a $1,200 reward for any evidence that identified the person that wrote, "All lives matter, you don't belong here," and the N-word hard R on the windshield of Isaiah Martin's car. A College Station police officer who watched the surveillance footage from a nearby pool camera, well, they've identified the person who did it. It was the owner of the car. Ah, making up your own crime. Isn't it just precious? You want to water down and devalue what everyone else is trying to accomplish? Go nuts. But I'll be honest with you, all you've done there is write messages to yourself that could be argued to be one of the most pathetic forms of self-deprecation. And as we all know, all lives don't matter. No lives matter. Thanks to my dear friend Cindy, I have been sent this beautiful piece from Facebook from Zilda's Beauty Center. Guys, a new shipment of masks has arrived. Face masks. Beautiful and super comfortable. Allows breath much easier. In addition to the delicacy and femininity that this mask brings to the female face. You can order girls now. Well, I can hardly wait to see. Wait. Why? Why does it look like a mosquito net? The point of a face mask is to prevent moisture from escaping. I'll be honest. Someone had told me on my server that looks like lingerie cut up and put over someone's face. I'd like to know where on the alleged lingerie that thread line was down the center. These kind of masks are why humans don't deserve to exist. During the 2016 Brexit referendum campaign, there were many studies released that indicated those that would vote for Brexit are usually thick. I don't mean the thick as in thighs, like mine. No, I mean more like those that are a bit intellectually stunted. Well, that's a load of nonsense, and Brexit happened. Get used to it. But understandably, those same kind of studies are now doing their rounds when it comes to COVIDiots, or people who refuse to wear a mask or comply with social distancing. The study looked at why some don't follow policy during coronavirus, and the team surveyed Americans in March. They found out that it depends on the capacity of your working memory, and that those with a low capacity are unable to make effortful decisions. This memory also then determines your intelligence and decision-making. And there I was thinking the only reason people ignored it was, 'cause America, feck yeah. My mistake. There is a massive issue when it comes to studying people in America because you have fundamental rights that conflict so heavily with guidance. It really does. So then to assume it's because of lower cognitive ability is wrong. Americans have fundamental rights and they will exercise their rights because it is in their constitution. If a government seizes control, then people don't have their freedoms anymore, do they? That doesn't mean they have lower cognitive ability, and studies like that are dangerous because all you're doing is saying, America, you're stupid, get over yourselves. Which obviously is far from the truth. There is a product you can buy called XL Gold. XL Gold is used as a room odorizer, a cleaning product but also a sexual enhancement liquid. It contains within it isopropyl nitrate. Isopropyl nitrate is a liquid drug that gives an instant high when inhaled. You are not supposed to down it though. At best, it is a nasal stimulant. It is marked explicitly not for human consumption. That isn't even a joke. Well, a lady in Scotland decided, I'm going to buy some, and then I'm going to be real brave and drink it. As a direct consequence of this, F in the chat for the random Scottish woman who is no longer with us because she drank isopropyl nitrate. You're a genius. And with the idea of a genius in mind, let's talk about Apple. Apple warned yesterday that MacBook users shouldn't cover the camera part of their laptops, their MacBooks. And the reason for that is if you put something there, it runs the risk of damaging the internal display, with Apple claiming that putting a sticker, a post-it note or other coverings in front of the camera impedes the tightly designed computer's ability to close and shatter the screen as a result. Hard X to doubt. Seriously, what is your computer made of? I mean, besides junk taken out of Haiti. Does anyone use MacBook? Seriously? If you do, I feel very sorry for you. I didn't realize you were from a third world. As we are done here, I would love to know what you think is the stupidest thing of the week. Please do let me know in the comments down below. If I don't see you on Twitch tonight, I hope you'll have a fantastic Thursday, and thank you all for listening.